Well, the fat lady's been warming up for a while, and she's just started serenading us all. It is an unfortunate, but highly predictable with the way the season's been going. Sheffield double, both other side of the city and Sheffield Wednesday have been relegated. I could say that, like, there's the anger there, there's the shock, there's the disappointment, but I've been so disenfranchised with this club this season that this doesn't even have the level of emotion that it usually would have, because there's been so much detachment from the heart and the soul of this club, and we're all doing Sheffield real proud in terms of football. I chose a hell of a first season to pretty much stream most of the matches and do watch-alongs, and finding myself a couple of months ago resigning to the fact that we're going to get relegated because this squad did not have the mentality to stay up. On paper, look at results like the Cardiff result. If they turn it on, they can beat most teams in this league. On paper, that squad should not have been going down, but it did. And that is because of a mentality, and there is something seriously rotten at the core of the club. But yet again, I'm not upset about this. I don't feel like past relegations where I'm really upset. Granted, I'm a bit older now, but still, it's a case of, you could see this coming a mile off. And it's more a case of, well, yeah, that was obviously going to happen, rather than, actually, you know what, we were unlucky. We weren't unlucky, we were in absolute shambles. So we start the season on, like, minus 12 points, gets reduced to minus 6. Not even that helps us, because financial fair play, I don't really like it. I think other clubs are currently abusing it. I think it's a flawed system, but we have reaped the wrong side of that, and that is why we've had the points deduction. But even without that, we'd have been in massive trouble, and we have deserved on form to go down. It's ridiculous how much this club has fallen since those playoff pushes, but we all saw it coming. It's not like any of us could say we didn't see it coming as soon as pretty much this season kicks off, because there wasn't the heart there. There wasn't the belief that we could do this for the most part. We started the season with Gary Monk. Gary Monk played, you know what, his football style, it wasn't the worst. I could see with a team with a good defensive mentality that the way he was trying to play and link up play, it was nice. He needed a different set of players for it. I don't know why he didn't adapt, and eventually he got sacked because of that. Brought in a results manager like Tony Pulis, who I thought, oh, you know what, we're going to get the dinosaur style of football, but we're going to get results. 1 win in 9, absolutely shambolic. That is probably, the Pulis era was probably the biggest mistake that led to us getting relegated, because when you bring in a manager, let's forget the caretaker managers. Obviously, Neil Thompson jumped in there. We've had different assistant managers. We have 6 managers grace the pitch over the course of the season. If that is not enough to say why a team has been relegated, and that's only part of it, I don't know what is. I feel like the Darren Moore appointment was too little too late. We don't actually know if he's going to be here next season, but I'd like to think an attacking manager such as Darren Moore gets time to rebuild in League One. You've got to think that that's why he's been brought in. But knowing this club and the way it likes to surprise you, that could just be completely up in the air, and a sacking could be on the cards. I genuinely don't know anymore on that one. You know, usually when somebody on YouTube does one of these videos, you get the rival fans going, and there will be some of that in the comments going, ha, small club, all that. It's the typical thing you get from, you know, football icon avatar people that are on the internet. But usually the people in those videos are really upset with their team, and they feel like they've been hard done by. Me, I love this club completely, but it's not a surprise. I completely feel like we are where we are on it's not really merit, is it? But we are where we deserve to be, and we need a massive rebuild in League One to bring us back up, because there's been something rotten at this club for the past couple of seasons now. It's not been right since sort of like the downfall of Carlos, maybe even a little bit before that as things started to sour. We've never picked ourselves back up. And from me thinking that I'm finally going to see some of the 90s Wednesday that I'd heard so much about, you know, the early 90s, the Waddle era, and the closest I got was Forestieri and Wembley and Hull. I was not turning up at Wembley, and the Hull match and the Huddersfield penalty shootout. That's as close as we got. And now it's back to the reset, back to where we were when I started supporting Wednesday in League One. Started at the bottom, Now we're back at the bottom. I mean, technically it's not the bottom. We've never been to League 2 like the other Sheffield club, but give us time. There's time. A lot of people are going to pin this on the ownership of the club, the way Chansiri's run it, and I've been somebody who's sort of tried to see the positives in Chansiri and the negatives. We've got the Talking Wednesday podcast. He's been a big topic of discussion on there. A lot of people like to attack him for attacking sake. We're always quite critical and constructively critical as well. I do feel like, though, he's been saying that this wouldn't happen and that his goals were for the Premier League, and yes, he's got to say all of that, but then the buck stops with you. You let us get relegated, that's on you as well. If he wants out now, he's got to make sure he stabilises this club, because that's the issue. Too many clubs now are destabilised. You look at the amount Reading's spending. If their promotion pushes can be unsuccessful, and that can backfire on them just as it did on Sheffield Wednesday, you've got to be really careful in the Championship with financial fair play. Really careful, because this is what can happen. And in fairness, it wasn't even really the points deduction that is the massive issue for us. It's the fact that we invested the money in the wrong places early on. I'm more positive about our recruitment strategy now, but why did it have to happen? Why did we have to bring in players on good deals and good potential players, younger players? Why did that have to happen when we had no money to spend because we were up to the eyeballs in financial fair play legislation? Why did that have to happen then? Why did we have to spend so much money on the likes of Jordan Rose because it was the fans' decision? We didn't say to spend £10 million on him. We were spending like giving a 4-year contract to a Stephen Fletcher, who then left us on a free. Forestieri, what was it, 5 or something million. Alman Abdi for like 3 million, didn't play. Forestieri was a good signing, don't get me wrong, but he left for free, right? These players that were good, and the out-of-contract players for Sheffield Wednesday, Adam Reach, out of contract. We need to see what's going to happen with these out-of-contract players now. A lot of them are obviously probably stating their intentions that they're off. I couldn't care less now. You know, we need to keep hold of some assets for the club, move a lot of people on, and do a bit of a reshape. We've got enough quality, this squad in the youth, I'd say, unless we let them all go, like we usually do for nothing. But we've got enough to build on and add some solid additions in League One and fight back up. But it's not always that easy, and Sheffield Wednesday don't always do it the easiest way round. It's very difficult for us to actually get a grip in League One usually. We need to do it fast, and we need to do it properly if we're going to come straight back up. Sheffield Wednesday have been poor. We've got too much wrong at the club, and we need to rebuild and do it properly. But yeah, I've got so much more to say on the Sheffield Wednesday relegation. The Talking Wednesday podcast is Sundays, 12 PM on this channel and all podcast services. We will go into extended thoughts on there. There'll be season reviews. There'll be all sorts like that. I'll also probably be doing some more Sheffield Wednesday related videos as we build across and do main channel videos, basically, about all of this, because it's going to be a big time for the football club. We've not been in League One for quite a while. My life has changed so much. I was much younger back when we were in League One, and I think a lot of fans are going to find that again. We've just got to hope that we get it right this time. And the worrying thing is, in football, this can all go very wrong very quickly, and we've seen that in the Championship. But what we've got to make sure we do is we don't keep plummeting. Something we've never kept plummeting so much, but we have struggled to sort of bounce back up. We need to make sure that at worst, we struggle to bounce back up straight away. At best, we come back up, but we do not plummet. We cannot be langering in the bottom of League One. We need to make sure we do this right. Get the egos out of the club. The players that think that they're actually probably going to play in the Premier League one day and would rather sort of stay in the Championship and think that League One is below them. Those kind of egos are not what you want in the football club. You need to make sure you've got the right players, the right mentality, and you need to attack this the right way. But yeah, if you want a bit of a prime dexterity box sort of reaction to it like I used to, probably when I was a lot more angry because these things were actually so stupid in hope and I wasn't as detached and used to it by now. We were gutless. We didn't have any spirit. We didn't have any clear direction. We were just an absolute stain on the league this season because we were everything that football shouldn't be on the pitch. A defensive mentality that is as fragile as ours has been is going to kill you, and that is what has killed us. The amount of points we threw away from winning positions. We had for seasons, we just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net enough. We weren't creating chances certain seasons. This season, we were creating the chances, we couldn't finish the chances, and we also had no sort of bottle when it came to the end of matches, and we were conceding sloppy goals, throwing away points from winning positions, from positions where we get a point. that is where the season's gone, and that will come back and bite you, and it has for Sheffield Wednesday, and it's League One. But guys, let me know how you're feeling in the comments. The content is going to keep coming. We're going to keep discussing it. There is the excitement of a rebuild because things can happen very quickly if it's done right and you can come back stronger. That is what can potentially happen. So for those that are really struggling, because let's be honest, it's been a rough year and a half, whatever, and it's going to be compounded by the fact that a relegation's now on the cards. There's going to be fans that are really struggling with that, and then there's so much controversy in the game as a whole at the minute. It feels like we're having things ripped away from us by we're getting less and less and less, and the same group of people are getting more and more, and our opinions don't matter in general, and then we've got our own club going through shambles on top of that. It's difficult for Wednesday fans, but try and remember that you can come out the other side of it stronger, and this channel, the Talking Wednesday podcast, all that sort of thing is going to be focused on the criticism, but also on what the club do moving forward, because that is the thing. We aren't plastics. We go through this no matter what happens with this club. We'll be there, unless we were one of those big six clubs and they decided to join the European Super League, and then I'd be like, do you know what? I'll go and watch my local. Well, Sheffield Wednesday are my local, but I'll go and watch my low-level local, you know? That would make me disenfranchised from the club, but another relegation to League One, even if we went down to League Two, that's what competition's about. It's all about the sporting competition. It's all about the rise and the fall. Sheffield Wednesday have fallen again, but we can rise again. Hopefully. Hopefully it won't take too long. But for now, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, do all those things, and keep watching right here on Dexterity Box.